But he thinking
that reminded me of like the party scene when I was like 20.
His fuckery.
Yeah, because he's paying for stuff. So that's why we get back to that money
And
thing.
okay with their seat being taken and being disrespected by the other girl. They all should have been accepting of all of his fuckery. That's what his motive, his whole idea of this was. So he really wasn't in a space to receive what we're saying. It wasn't until that next morning where he actually was able to hear, like, no, like you, even though you are paying for things, these are people. You have to still treat them as people. And you allowed this girl to come in and disrupt
the space.
Yeah, disrupt a very
You brought these women here. Like, you basically chauffeured these women. You said, hey, come with me. I'm going to show you a good time. If that's the kind of trick you want to be, by all means, carry the tote.
Yeah, okay.
And I would say, I just want to edit this because you laughed. Not every instance of a man entertaining a woman is tricking. It just depends on what your intention is behind the entertainment. Because some men do it just for the shits and giggles. But if you're actually interested in me and we're going out, that's a different story. So, yeah.
I know what you mean when you
Okay,
say
I just want to give a disclaimer.
I was thinking more like a lot of dudes they'll complain about women being gold diggers, but they lead with the money.
Yeah.
So if that's how you represent.
Most times it's because they probably don't have or don't know. I don't want to say they don't have anything else, but it's that they're not aware of what else that women would want. So they're thinking that this is all that women want to see. This is all they want to do. I'm gonna make sure I got the best job. I got the best money. I drive the nice car. So I can be appeasing to these women.
But are you a good person?
But that's really what women that are past that shit. That's what they're looking for, a good person. Like, it's somebody that's going to make them laugh. Somebody that's going to be there when they're crying. Somebody that's going to realize I got issues, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to be there, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has some fucked up shit about them. They had a childhood, you know what I'm saying? Like, something happened. So it's like you're trying to find somebody that is going to be there for you while you ride this wave of life. And that doesn't happen until after they've gone through this whole tricking and going outside and getting the attention that they need, their whole phases. It's a lot of roller coaster rides that men have to get on before they get there. And that's what it is.
Yeah, but it's also, like you said, how they lead, like how you begin. It's just like this gentleman that you guys go out with. This is how it started. I'll take you guys out.
Oh, no. That's not how it started.
Oh, well, I mean, this is what he's doing. Like you just said, every time you go out with this guy, you know what time it is. And that's what I mean by he has already laid the groundwork for this. And that's what a lot of these guys that get the,
Yeah. It's like, why did they have this expectation of me when that's, bro?
If you lead with that, if you be like, oh, I got money, I could do this for you, I could do that for you. Who don't like a free meal? Mm-hmm. Listen, if a nigga talking about he could do that, I'm like, oh, what's up, nigga? Can you do something for me too? What's up? Like, shit.
To a capacity.
When the narrative really should be, hey, what's your goals? Like, what you looking for in life? Like, how can I help you get there?
Yeah, but a lot of people don't have conversation. Mm-hmm. A lot of people use money for the conversation.
Mm-hmm. And that's also going to happen when people are actually serious. And a lot of people ain't really serious. Every man that I've known, and this is just my experience, once they were actually serious and wanted to be in a long-term relationship, they were in one in 6 months to a year.
Uh-huh. They will not play about you.
Yep.
They're not going to play about you. I had a man in a bar. I went out with a friend to a bar. She's very demure and docile, so she's not going to be like, get out of my face. So this guy was just subjecting himself to her. Blah, 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 blah. So I leaned over and I said, hey, her food just came out. I'm pretty sure she wants to just like finish her food. Do you mind if we just kind of chill? We just came out. He said, how much money can I pay you to mind your business?
Oh, wow.
And I almost was like 50 and then was going to be like, and still not mind my business. But also I was like, I'm not even going to engage in that. You know what I mean? Like, I said, you think you could really pay me to mind my business? Like, that's how you function in the world? Like, that works for you? It's crazy.
Talking shit.
Shit.
That's crazy.
That's how some guys are. It's like they say, lame people that got money is still just a lame person. They just got money now. It's the same exact person.
I personally feel that there are things in life that you can pull a quote from a Kendrick Lamar song and make it a life lesson. So you thought the money, the power, and fame was going to make you go away? Yeah. That's where that's from right there. That's once a lame, always a lame. Everybody said that shit. But yeah, man, like, it don't change. And we always say this. I see certain people like, That's a nigga that never got girls. I
Yeah.
already know. You already know, no matter what their stature is, they act and move a certain kind of way.
There's certain men that are still like toiling over the fact that some girl dissed them in like middle school. You're so mad about it, bro. And ever since then, it's like this disposition of like you're being on an attack towards women. That's why I say some of them gay. Just say that. You know what I mean? Like you're just come out. Say you don't like women. There's no way you can sit and like bash and talk about women in a negative connotation all day. And one, either not take responsibility that I always say this Cat Williams quote, what about your pussy attracts ain't shit niggas? But in the same aspect of men, what about your dick attracts ain't shit bitches? You have to take accountability for like what it is that you're attracting. Or two, maybe it's just not.
Listen, I used to take accountability for myself. When I was younger, I got no play. I got no action. It's because I had no conversation. I didn't know how to be around women. Like, all I do is sit there and play games. So when it came time to, have a talk with a woman, it's like, meanwhile, my boy is like, well, shit, if you ain't going to make a move.
But you're not, like, angry about it. You get, like, I was kind of, like you said, a nerd. I was a little more reserved and whatever. So that, and I would say, like, women, we're not, like, I always tell this all the time.
Yeah.
Nice guys, you guys fuck up because you guys aren't willing to try as hard as the fuck boys. The fuck boy gonna text my motherfucking phone. Good morning, sis. Good night, sis. How was your day? Oh, you want to ride with me to go? I'll pay you to do. He is gonna make sure that he knows, I know that he knows, like, I'm thinking about, like, I got an agenda or whatever, be in my face. Now, the one time I tell the nice guy no, he'd be like, oh, I guess she doesn't like me. Just because she doesn't like me.
I can't break up. Not today. I'll try to get next week.
Attention at all. Yeah. What's crazy is they're the quality.
They're really nice. I like nice guys. I've had my share of interesting individuals. I think in the time when I was like dating interesting individuals, I was an interesting individual. So I literally used to have my conversation with myself. Like, I would love to date a guy that's like this, but realistically, I'm like this, And with a guy that I want to date that's like gonna accept the fact that I am thoroughly in this form of Christina. You know what I mean? It's just the Christina that I see myself being is not there yet. So I'm not going to waste your time. I'm really not going to waste your time, because I would hate for somebody to do that with me in a sense. And then I was really big on like growing with individuals. I see potential. Come potential. Come potential.
Yeah, I definitely.
I went through my phase of potential.
Are we taking this? Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
We should have took like 4 by now. Come on, guys.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Am I the youngest here? I'm the youngest in charge.
What are we cheering to?
Life, love, and laughter.
All right.
Yeah.
Creamy.
Pause.
Look at you. Mr. Pause, man. What's wrong with
Well, first of all, there's two women in the room,
Let me
so
describe.
there's nothing wrong with me
He's
saying
still
creamy.
here.
Let me
If it was
describe.
just me and you, and I was like, creamy.
That's creamy.
If she had poured that into your mouth and you say creamy, it's still kind of gross,
Yeah.
but
No,
maybe not
that's
good,
the
right?
pause.
That's not pause.
And
man.
you took a
Some
shot
niggas is
in your
into that
mouth
shit.
and then said, creamy.
But yeah, you put some liquid into your own mouth and said, creamy.
I don't like, first off, there's 2 things I don't like.
The pause game.
I don't like the
First
pause.
off, I hate a D's nuts joke.
I'm these
I hate a D's nuts joke.
You hate a D's nuts?
D's
joke?
nuts,
Who
yeah.
does that still? Oh, that's you?
Wow, that was a hard
push you
shot.
through the window.
I hate it.
She's going through a lot of trauma. This is definitely
And I
a victim of my these nuts.
I don't even think he caught it. I seen you do it.
And also really.
Did you catch it? What she just did?
Look at these nuts.
No, with the thing, the hand gesture. Do it again. That.
Yeah,
Remember
but that's
that?
not, you
Remember
can't
that
catch
back
people
in the
like that.
Nah, is that the
You got to
Italian-
put it on the.
This shit?
Yeah,
No.
no, okay. So, like, all right, for
You
example,
are too soon.
she'll walk in the kitchen and be like, oh, that smells good. What are you eating? These nuts.
You are laughing way too hard at that shit. You really think that's funny. What's the other one? There was something else you said you didn't like.
Like this is a norm. I just want you to just
annoying.
If we're talking
There,
about,
she laughing super hard.
you get to know Christina, you get to know the layers of Christina, and then you find out the weird shit of her. This is
let
one
me
of those
let me tell you
things.
guys.
Who loves a good D's nuts joke.
I moved to a new apartment, right?
She
I
does.
set up my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi name was called Californication. I had friends come over, cook dinner. I cooked dinner. A lot of friends would come over. And so I was like, does anybody need the Wi-Fi? And they're like, what? I'm like, no, like nobody asked for the
I see
Wi-Fi.
this
Like, if
coming.
you need the Wi-Fi, just let me know. They're like, oh, okay. And she was like, yeah, what's the Wi-Fi? I was like, oh, it's Californication. And so I wait a little bit. And they're like, what's the password?
You already know it's coming. I'll finish it for you.
That's so
These
childish.
nuts. DEEZ and UT.
No, that's the funny part. They're trying to figure out, is it spelled these nuts or like these
Oh, that makes
nuts?
it even funnier.
So
Oh,
now we're trying to figure out how these nuts are spelled, but they can't get it spelled because, like, I'm dying right now. I'm dying.
Right.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Because
You're sitting there like all frustrated. Meanwhile, she's over here like, y'all don't know how to spell these nuts.
it's these nuts.
It's these nuts. Sound it out.
No. But my mom's an English teacher, so it was definitely spelled correctly. These nuts.
Oh, boo.
oh, God.
So that's why it was hilarious because it was like, is it D's with like D's or like these?
Like double these nuts. Like what are we talking
Double
about?
these nuts. Oh my God.
Nah, but there was a second one you said you didn't like.
I'm definitely gonna. I didn't forget that. I hate a pause joke.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Because
I
I
said
really-
pause. She was over there looking at me like,
This
Grow up.
fucking-
Because the thing is, it's now. I hate that the culture has now gotten to the point where we now have to advertise. Oh, I'm not gay, by the way. I do say questionable shit, but
that's
I don't like
always
the
been like
penis.
that.
Not me. Don't put me in that category.
No Diddy.
You don't have to. No Diddies. I don't like those. I don't like those. You don't have to advertise your sexuality. Nobody instantly thinks, oh, that person's gay.
But it's just funny though.
This thing.
no, when we
But the other
tell
implication-
somebody pause, it's never, oh, that nigga's gay.
It's the
It's more so
implication.
like, yo, that was gay.
What you
That's what
said
it is.
could
It's
be
like what you
why
said
is
was
that?
gay. It's like what he just said with me, like, oh, no, you're not going to pause creamy? He knows I'm not gay.
Or I was like, put it in your mouth.
See,
Hey, yo,
See,
pause.
there you go. That's wild. Something you can say could be wild.
I get it. I've just had to deal with it. When we first started doing this podcast, I argued with him for at least 2 episodes on the pause, and I'm just like, you know what? Let it go.
So I'm like, questionable shit comes out of people's mouths.
Are you?
Doesn't mean that you're-
I just think if you're always thinking about gay shit, certain shit sounds good. That's me personally.
Well, first of all,
It's
I
not-
want y'all looking at
if
me.
it's not
We all
First of all, if y'all looking at me, that just tells me y'all ain't seen episode 25 because this nigga was just
yeah,
reckless.
I was on.
He was
But
reckless.
like
on
I
that
said, I ain't
episode.
worried about no one thinking I'm gay because I'm not. So
Yeah,
I'll say
anybody
gay shit
that-
all
Or
day.
is that a decoy? Like you're saying that?
Oh wow.
Oh shit! Oh damn!
Look, I'm super analytical, so my mind will jump from. Remember I told you about that? It's like a blue screen.
He's like, I got a white 5 kids just to prove I ain't gay.
Yeah, word.
Oh, nigga.
And he does have a beard.
I knew that was coming.
Oh,
I
my
knew that was
God.
coming.
Wait,
I did that.
what's
Because
that,
like a
how's that
beard is a
correlate?
term for gay men to use like wives to protect them from being exposed for their gay. So they'll get married and the wife is their beard that makes them
Because
masculine.
traditionally a beard is supposed to make you masculine.
Yeah. So the wife is
my
the
mind was
beard.
going elsewhere. I was like, is that like handlebars or something?
No.
Like come here, nigga.
Yikes. Yikes.
Pause.
I can understand. That was a very well placed pause.
Yeah.
That come here nigga was a little aggressive.
Yeah, because when he was like the beard, I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh, she's about to tell me something new. I don't know about that.
No.
Okay. So I guess they
is
could
it-
be a little. I guess I can accept
Sometimes they are funny. Other
pause
times, it's,
jokes. Some of the no Diddy jokes, but these nuts.
It's hilarious.
I do not want to
Kids,
accept the
young
these
and
nuts
old,
jokes.
strangers
They have
near and far love the
These
fucking
nuts
jokes.
jokes
I've
have
caught
been
people
going since
outside of 7-Elevens. Like dudes coming out with their
extreme? Did you go to the extreme with it when you
Nah,
laughing?
like,
You're
I'm gonna do it
like,
smooth.
got him.
No, I would do it smooth. I would do it smooth. So I'll see a group of guys coming out, and I'll be like,
Pause.
okay, word.
See a group of guys coming. Go ahead. Finish.
Coming out.
out.
Yeah. Go ahead.
this is what I deal with. Guys,
Anyways, I see a group of men approaching a door to
There we go.
open, and
Good girl.
I'll be like, okay, this is a good place. So then they'll grab it, and most times, obviously, I'm a lady, so they'll let me walk by and be like, oh, let me hold the door for you. And so I'll drop it down. Because that's the only way you can really get people. It has to be below the waist. That's
Yeah.
the rule. I just want. Unless you're verbally saying these nuts,
Yeah.
the these nuts symbol has to be below the waist. So there's one time that actually I caught someone real good, and so it was his man's that wild out. He was like, "Yo, like nigga." So that made me die, and then my homegirl who hates that I do it too is like, "Oh my god, there's Christina outside being stupid again." But yeah, it's amazing. And when you do it to kids, they find it funny because they're like, my teacher shouldn't be doing that.
you do it to kids. Wow.
So like, say for example, I was such a good teacher.
It's just diabolical.
You know, that's what honestly, that's what makes it so funny because you think it's so funny. It's funny.
So like, there's just like, I think he was a senior. He must have been a senior, like
So
11th.
anybody can get it. Kids, seniors,
Anyone could
fuck
get it.
Wow.
Senior, 11th grader. I was walking out the gym. He opened the door for me. I put it down, got him. He was like, yo, miss. He was like, I wouldn't expect that from you. So literally every time I see him in the hallway, he's trying to get me. Like,
You know what's the funniest part of this of this conversation right now. Like, I know of that joke in all the years I spent in New York. All this time, I never knew it meant these nuts.
Really? Oh,
yeah, I never knew it meant these nuts. Because I was just raised like, you don't want to get caught looking at it. That's just what it was. Like, niggas do the thing is like, I tried to get me. Like, you see, I put my hand up here, I'm just still staring at you, and just like how you just put your hand out, still just staring at you. As long as you didn't look at it. Because then if you looked at it, it's like, oh, got him. You know what I'm saying?
Look at these nuts, you know.
But
and it's always funny when people try to grab it.
Yeah.
So I was like, so she's like saying, she's like, where's my keys? I'm like, oh, here you go. She grabs it.
Yeah.
You wanted these nuts?
Look, she mad. Like,
why? It's just entertaining to you. It's not fucking entertaining. And it's like,
what's that was title about to be these nuts?
It's so funny.
You're so mad, bro. That's so funny. So I used to teach my nephew. He's my favorite nephew, and I know you're not supposed to have favorite nephews, but he's my favorite nephew. Shout out to Daryl. Shout out to Daryl.
Despicable, even.
You got to deal with that on a daily.
Constantly on the lookout for these nuts.
I used to teach my Daryl that my nephew that like these nuts joke or what like a knee slapper was. So back in the day, like you mad bro was like a thing, you know. So I was teaching him that, right? So one day I'm sitting on the couch at my mom's house. My sister is getting him ready. He had to be like 4. And she was trying to put his shoe on, but he was doing something, moving around or whatever. She's like, what the fuck, Daryl? Like, be still. So then he looks at me, and I look at him like, what? He turns to his mom, and he goes, you mad, bro?
You mad?
You get a little mad fucked up.
Fucked up. So that's not even the end of it. He got fucked up. My sister looked at me like, bitch, like, the fuck? So then the next time I told him to do something, he was like, I traumatized my G. I was like, dang, I gotta be more careful about what I tell him.
And she still does it. She still does it. Be more careful.
No, I don't.
She'll even
I will engage a kid.
Yeah.
Tell your mom I said shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Because it's engaging. I always remember being that kid in a situation where I'm like, y'all don't see this lady acting crazy? Y'all see her? Nobody gonna say nothing. So I like being that adult that like, little nigga, I see that shit. And your mom is tripping right now.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna say, oh, yeah, I'm gonna say it. But they'll be like, well, my cousin Christina said it. And it's kind of funny. So yeah.
Yo.
See, these kids be ready to risk it all hanging out there. I'm telling you.
That shit is funny. It's funnier because you are like so. It is clear you are so entertained
by this, and she's entertained by the disdain of others too. That towards this as well. Like this really just intensifies the
because really, like, why are you mad, bro? You're so mad. I just did.
You know what's mad? Because the expectation was not there. I really asked you a genuine.
You're being all serious, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, you want to be on playtime?"
I'm telling you, I come in the kitchen, it smells wonderful. You know what I'm saying? Like she said, she cooks all the time. So we go to the house, we smell it great. Okay, so I'm in my room, I come out, smell wonderful. Oh, Chris, what you cooking? Oh, you really want to know? And the bitch dips down like she's about to get something.
Yeah.
These nuts.
Oh my God.
And you know, I'm invested when she said, do you really want to know? You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, my interest is now peaked up again. Remember, the expectation is now higher. So now when I get these nuts, it's like an even farther letdown drop. Like it's even farther. What the fuck? Like, goddamn, bitch, I really was asking you what you was cooking. Low-key, maybe I want to trail a little.
You like, you know what? I don't even want to talk to you now.
And that's exactly
the response. I will turn around and I'll go back out because at this point I'm pissed. And
meanwhile, she's having a good old time.
Oh my gosh.
Snorkeling and shit.
I can hear the laugh, the snort, all that shit from the kitchen. I'm sorry. And she has her headphones on because she thinks nobody can hear her as she's doing her.
I love it.
And with her headphones in the kitchen still while she's cooking and it's smelling all great. So I have to interrupt this whole party that she's having by herself. And then
that's why you got these nuts.
And then she's doing this whole these nuts though. Then it's a loud cackle because the cackle, if you heard it, it is a very mischievous cackle. Okay, it's as if she's planned this.
There's a reason for that. Like when I was younger, I always wanted to be a witch for Halloween. So from like 6 to 11, I was a witch every year. And I remember one year my mom talked me into a different costume. And she was like, be a vampire. So I got a vampire, but then she bought me a cape that was too long. And in the 3rd grade parade, my cape, somebody stepped on my cape. And I didn't like that. Because you know what? Fucking witches don't got to worry about that. Okay? I didn't have to worry about this when I was a witch. So I never... that day, immediately we went to the store to go get a witch costume. Because look what happened when I was a vampire. So I used to practice a witch
Oh my god!
And then it just became the laugh.
It is the
Wow.
laugh.
Let me hear that witch laugh.
Yeah. Now, funny story. I showed my kids a video because they say like, "Miss, you laugh so evil." So one day we were on something. It was like evil laughing contest, and a whole bunch of nerds were going up like.
That's your witch laugh?
No.
Oh, that's better.
But that's what they were doing.
Imitating their laugh.
Oh, okay.
It was like an evil villain laugh contest. Okay, but hold on. You're gonna put this on here.
Oh yeah, gonna
Absolutely.
I forgot recording first.
That's good. That's good potting.
I'm literally crying. I've been crying since these nuts.
Fuck you.
and then they reach down like to get some shit. And you're like,
Can you imagine the deception?
I'll be so
mad.
oh man.
All right.
Let's hear it.
That's a lot of pressure. Stop looking at me. Everybody stop looking. All right. Oh shit.
Is that not?
Is that how you
crazy
really be
as fuck?
laughing?
Yes.
I'd be
that's
mad
it.
as
She did,
hell.
she did it right on
That was
cue.
kind of
So imagine
creepy. It was hard to look away while you were doing that.
I'm back in the kitchen
Feeling
and I'm
nervous on the
leaning
right
down.
side of it.
Or is that deep one that starts
As I'm leaning back
it's
into my room with this loud ass cackle after she just pissed me off about the D's nuts joke. So even more, I'm even more salty now in my room.
So the melody you sang though was "Where the Hood At" by fucking. Is that what you was singing? You was in it, where the hood, where the hood, where the hood at, and then fucking picking with these nuts. Oh shit, you real New York, huh?
Or it could be some. It's never the right time.
I was gonna say I am such a 90s R&B.
Oh my god!
I'll make a song out of everything.
Oh my god!
Listen, in my classroom, I told them one day, I was like, today we're having a musical. They're like, what? Everything you can't talk to me unless you sing it. You can't talk to me. Yeah, you got to be creative. And I think I have a childlike
Personality.
Oh
Oh
my
my god.
yeah.
Now you gonna have me thinking like what songs could go with that, like integrated, like it's tearing up these nuts when I'm with you. No.
Oh man! See what you doing? I already got to deal with the
These
pause
nuts
shit.
works anytime it's unexpected. It has to be a genuine want for information.
Gosh.
That is sick.
The genuine one for information is what changes the quality of these.
Do you know how crazy you have to be to analyze, like when you have to perfectly place a D's nuts joke? Like it has to be when somebody is genuinely asking for information, like where they're and I'm almost always it is
Or genuinely minding their
relate
business.
to her.
If
It's
you
like
drop these nuts,
she's
on her-
always listening for an opportunity to use. Just like I'm always listening for when I hear some sus stuff. I'm like, oh, pause.
Yeah.
It's just natural to her. It's natural
Yeah, but
to
these
me.
nuts doesn't mean I'm gay.
No, nobody says me you're gay.
The pause.
The pause don't mean anybody gay. It's just that you heard a gay speech or
I thought that was the
comment.
purpose of the whole shit.
Yeah, you
Like,
said something gay.
something gay, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying
Yeah,
to
you said something gay. It doesn't necessarily mean you are gay.
No.
Like I said, episode 25.
Because it's like,
but he said
but
a lot
isn't
of
it
pause
pre-planned
shit.
though? Because you chose to say the gay shit and then you gonna pause afterwards.
No,
Because usually how it works is I say some gay shit and I'm gonna say pause before my mans can say pause.
that happens. Like sometimes I'll catch myself before he can say it.
So
Like,
then
if I
you
say- if I say
intentionally
something-
said some gay shit.
No. Sometimes you say something that's just egregious. You know, it's just like, oh shit, can't even realize I said that shit. Like I remember, like back in like high school when I was playing Goldeneye. I think I told this story before, but
No, this. Go ahead.
you know, Goldeneye is like first person shooter on Nintendo 64 back in the day, the James Bond game. But anyway, so I'm playing with the homies, 4-player split screen, and we running from the dude that had the golden gun because it was like one shot kill, and dude came over and hit him, and I said, oh dang, he came around the corner and blew his head off or something like that, and I was like, oh shit, pause, like that's a pause moment. It's not a pause moment.
No, you're playing a first.
Like if you say he came around the corner and offed him, that's a pause moment.
That's not even a pause.
Oh, okay.
First of all, it is physically impossible for a person to come around a corner.
That makes sense. You can't.
I don't know. The hook's to the left.
No,
That's not coming around a corner. That's just
y'all
coming.
haven't been subscribed to the right OnlyFans. Some of these niggas, no, I'm playing.
Oh, I was gonna
Pause.
say, what are you watching that OnlyFans?
I was just like, that's gay.
Now,
Ain't no pause.
we do
That's just
Now we getting somewhere.
That's shifting to no Diddy actually, because you over here talking about some looking at
And plus the language, right? No one has ever said to someone, man, I was with this girl the other day and I came around the corner on her. Nigga. But, well, fuck, you got to explain that, right? And then you said off him. Like if I was with this girl and I offed her, you'd be like, what the fuck? What do you mean by that? That's what I mean.
Okay.
That shit, those words are not said in the sexual content. So it can't be a pause.
Okay.
Whereas, the shit this nigga just said, that was just straight up gay. That wasn't even a pause.
Yeah.
What was straight up gay?
When you talked about it, you don't know what's going on these other men's only fan pages.
You said you
That's
checked out the men's
definitely a
OnlyFans.
pause moment.
Who said that?
You did, nigga. You just said
That wasn't said.
Not
What
the
are you talking
amnesia.
about?
Hey, well, we're recording now,
glad
nigga.
that-
Never right time to record some shit.
I'm the editor. I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
The nigga lies.
But it's on film, yeah.
What are you talking about? 45 minutes got cut out. We were just talking about Christmas trees.
No. Watch this episode, and so this is how production works. It's a whole nother narrative gets spewed,
Okay, the edit.
and then the video is gonna just be us saying, "I like these nuts. I like these." nuts.
God, it's all. I'm Christina. These nuts. The
Y'all know what the close up of this shit right here.
I do. Y'all get to get that somewhere. Somewhere it's been. So technically, I just got whoever watches this.
Oh no!
The pre-thought of the fact that somebody else is gonna watch this and get
Hundreds
me.
of people just got these nuts.
Wow.
Okay. Ooh.
It's just irritating.
I wanted
It's
to-
so comical and entertaining for her that she's even excited about the idea that hundreds of people.
And I gotta enjoy it now because I might forget.
Yeah. Nah, me and her can't be hanging out. It would just be a whole pause these nuts night.
Content.
It'd be a pause these nuts night.
Like I don't know what they were talking about. It was just a pause of nuts. Like that's it. What were you wondering?
All the nuts.
That is
Y'all
the
crazy.
episode title. Pause these nuts. Yes.
Yo, y'all
That is
crazy
great.
as hell.
Pause these nuts.
It is crazy to me how much joy.
Thank you. How entertaining it is for her.
Yeah, like she really, really loves this shit.
They can't relate. It must be a light skin thing. Look at the room.
No, they didn't. No, they
I always
didn't.
say light skinned niggas got issues we can't relate.
It's a little bit of shade on this side.
This is true. This is something that also comes out of her mouth.
What comes out of her mouth?
Light skinned niggas have issues we can't relate to.
Let me get on the mic right here.
Typically, I am the only.
Everybody out there who's not light skinned, we don't need to be reminded on a daily fucking basis that we light skinned. We know.
You separate yourself from.
No, we don't, bro.
Y'all do light skinned nigga shit. Like light skinned niggas weren't light skinned niggas till y'all did the light skinned nigga shit.
What is that? We doing light?
What do you
That's 'cause
mean?
It's a light skinned nigga face because I'm light skinned and a nigga and I made the face. But
Niggas
it
don't
ain't
make
like
faces like that. That's the point. It's not the fact that you was light skinned. It's the fact that us niggas, we don't make faces like that.
All you say us niggas like we not niggas over here.
Niggas right here. with
This
something.
this nigga variety.
You know what I'm saying?
See, now y'all about to make a mess.
That's a light skinned nigga trait. Like I would never be mad that another black person said I wasn't black. I knew it wasn't true.
You
Like
notice I haven't engaged.
Yeah.
This is.
I always
the approach you
engage.
must
Fuck
take.
that. I'm always
she's been tanning this summer, so she
tanning.
feels
She
a little closer to us.
Fuck you. I have been, but still, the sun has been doing.
The fact that it's a fact.
It is.
Why would I lie?
I've been outside, okay, and
Okay.
trying to get my little legs to match.
All right, girl.
Blacker than you. Blacker than you.
Damn.
That's a Beyonce song.
I'm saying that you can't engage with this shit, okay? If somebody hits you with a light skin joke, this is all to bait.
It's daily, man.
It's all to bait.
Daily.
This is their
the boys got all
entertainment.
soft and
If you-
everything.
Or
It's that
this
light
is
skin
just
shit.
a reaction to your behavior.
I think it's
No,
intimidation.
that's
It's
still-
intimidation.
It's
So,
intimidation.
let's put-
Wow.
let's
Whenever
Throwing
I'm
this around
It's-
loosely.
It's bullying.
No, it's intimidation. They feel intimidated. Whenever I'm in a room
Nah,
and they
no, it's
really
not
can't get
good.
on
That's
me
some
about shit,
light-skinned
the
nigga
first
shit
thing
to
they
say.
do
You
is
see what
gonna
I'm saying?
say
Because
that
that
I'm
is-
light skinned because that's all they got. And I
You
let
have
that
to
shit
stop
roll
talking,
right
bro,
off.
because you're actually
adding to the
adding a
cause.
stamp on what
This is literally what we mean when light skinned nigga shit.
But I am light skinned though.
But that's like
And all I'm saying is you
We
don't
know.
need to tell me because I know.
no. We don't need to tell you because you told us.
And that's how I know y'all. That's how I know y'all intimidated because you're the ones who always mention it. If I walked around and said I was light skinned all the time and light skinned this and
Okay,
light skinned
so
this got that, I would get it.
what about the
But y'all-
emperor without clothes? Okay, so remember that old fable story about the emperor's new clothes. Some famous liar basically comes and tells the emperor, "This is the most magnificent fabric that I have, and if you can't see it, then you're not a smart person." And blah blah blah. So the emperor is like, "Well, shit, I'm gonna pretend like I can see this shit. So he buys all this thread and fabric from this person and has his people make his garments, right? The next time he goes and submits himself to his subjects, this nigga's naked. And he literally walks through life.
Everybody is so scared of this nigga and his power that they actually go along with
that's not the narrative we're going with.
You can set
is
the
that
narrative.
sometimes you just got to point out some crazy shit, and light-skinned niggas be doing crazy shit.
But I can also point out that the niggas that was under Mr. Light-Skinned Crazy Man was too scared of that nigga and his power to even point out.
But what about the person that spoke out?
Bullshit.
That's the point that we're talking about. We're talking about, you just said, you remind me every time I come into a room that I'm light-skinned. So the narrative that I'm making or the exchange of the persons would be the person calling out the king that you're naked right now.
So I'm naked?
No. I am the person calling, you're naked.
What are you calling me out for, though?
For being naked. So I'm for your life. Okay. No. Okay. Let's put the analogy in like a fraction. Okay.
Okay. So what are you calling me out for?
Excuse me.
When you say that I'm light skinned though, with no
your light skin activities.
I got you. No innuendo.
Your light skin activities.
But when I wasn't doing anything,
you
decided to just say I was light skinning.
No.
I could be sitting.
You have been light skinning, but then we just decided to call it out on what it was. So like I said,
I've been light skinned.
Yeah. It's a thing.
Oh, okay.
She does it all the time.
So that's what you're
like. She'll make comments and be like, "I really love when chocolate girls do."
I definitely have.
But D, do I ever do that? Do I ever make any mention of anybody's skin tone or dark skinned niggas or any of that shit?
No.
Because you're hyperly aware. Say for example, I can still call him black as you look black as shit right now, and he's not gonna feel some type of way because he's just a nigga. Niggas between niggas don't have no type of feeling about the hue of what nigga I am. It's when light skinned niggas that get around and either have been had an experience in which you were treated better in a sense because you're light skinned. Like if we say colorism doesn't exist, you're fucking lying. It exists.
So I've had an experience where I was treated better.
Okay. No.
I'm just trying to clarify. Yes. I'm not saying. I'm asking.
This kind of goes to what I've said on the pod sometimes, where I say back when light skinned niggas was in,
and I always say I ain't never been out. I'm always in.
Right, but there was an actual time where light skinned niggas were in.
That's the light skinned nigga shit.
Yeah, that's light skinned.
I said me, Lamont. I'm always in.
I know, but that's light skinned nigga shit to say.
So you wouldn't say you always in?
No. Sometimes it's Puerto Rican. Yeah,
that's because you're not though.
She's basically trying to say you're doing light skin activities with light skin tendencies.
Light skinned niggas have light skin tendencies. And we allow y'all to be light skinned niggas until it's just impeding.
Light skin.
Because, it's just like I allow people to be themselves. If I wasn't allowing you to be yourself, I would disrupt every moment of yourself. No, stop. Stop. You're being yourself. You're being. I can't allow this. Please stop. Stop.
Be myself and that nigga.
But that's the point. But there has to be an allowance for it. If somebody doesn't allow you to be yourself, what do you do? If someone
I don't even understand that statement.
If someone's not allowing you to be yourself, I'll answer the question. You remove yourself from those spaces. If I feel like everything that I'm saying to you, why would I come around somebody that I don't feel like is creating a space for me?
But I'm always me, and my space is my space, and no one creates space for me. My space is
You can have the space, but is anyone around that space?
It's my space, so I don't give a fuck.
That's not the point that we're making. We're talking about coexisting in spaces and being able to coexist.
Everyone has their own space. Even when you're coexisting, you still got your own space.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about.
That while you're in your own space being you, there are antics and things that you say that... I'm keeping a buck. There's interesting things that we say that hit them differently.
I wouldn't even say
hit them differently.
I would say it's more so certain things that have been said, and like I said, it's a blanket statement on light skinned people. There's certain things that light skinned people say that black people don't say to each other.
Yeah, it's pretty privilege is a thing. Like,
so I'm pretty too?
No. I mean,
so what are we talking about here?
Right now in this moment,
wait, what you saying?
Combative and defensive. But what we're saying is that when people mention, "Oh, you're doing some light skinned nigga shit" or something like that, these are things or comments that are said that the people that share the darker skin tone would never say. Like, for example, let me give you an example. I was very insecure growing up because I'm a black girl, I'm a hairy girl, people grow hair. Now, mind you, I have to shave my fucking legs. I look at this chocolate bitch over here who looks so cute and gorgeous and all the things that you can't tell this bitch got hair. Can her forget? Not at all. She ain't got a shave. She don't, her legs look gorgeous all the time. I used to be envious of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's some shit that only a light-skinned person would even recognize or see or even care about. And that's not anything that they would even...
I've literally heard dark-skinned people say exactly that.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
I was gonna say every experience isn't.
You said never.
But-
Maybe if you said they don't often, then
I
but you said
don't mean
never.
to say never, but you know, if you
I was gonna say when people speak, you have to have like autonomy on their experience. I can't. It's so hard to speak from a place of like disconnect from your experience. So if she's talking about something she's experienced, of course she's going to speak in the first person tone. This has never
When
in
she
my
said light-skinned people, that was a general statement of what
in
light-skinned
her
people
personal
do.
experience.
That's not what she said, though.
What I'm saying is usually when someone is dictating something as far as sharing an experience, I'm not going to keep reminding you that this is my experience every 4 seconds. You
can just say
understand
it
that?
once.
I did state that this is my.
She said, when I was growing up, I felt, and this is da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da. So I know that she's talking from her personal experience, not a whole statement that these people absolutely are this way, because those are so hard to make. Even if I say
She
niggas
did
ain't
say
shit,
absolute right after that. Though.
oh, Lord. In her experience.
This is all in my experience.
This is light-skinned nigga shit.
That is
we call
what
this
I have
semantics.
done. You know what I'm saying? This, yeah, like
I
you
think
don't
the
have to
English
split
language calls
hairs
it
or get caught
semantics.
up in the details for you to understand where I'm coming from. Like you don't have to be where I'm at to see where I'm coming from. If I tell you that me as a light-skinned woman have been envious of the dark-skinned women and what they've been able to do, and how they don't have to shave as much, or it doesn't appear that they have to shave as much, who cares? It's my insecurity that I have in my own self. They may or may not say what their insecurity is or isn't. I'm bold enough to say mine. But that's what I grew up at. Shit, I'm a hairy girl on dance teams with women who are, you know, don't have to deal or appear that they don't have to deal with the stuff I have to deal with. Like if I'm hairy, they're gonna see that from across the field. You know what I'm saying? Like if they are, they could chill. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to do it. So it just made me feel more insecure, more self-conscious, and those are things that lighter people would say to dark-skinned people. Now, on the other hand, it's not a dark-skinned woman that's not gonna look at another dark-skinned woman's legs and be like, "Bitch, I can see that girl in your leg." No, that's they. It's a mutual understanding of some shit. So it's not. It doesn't need to be said. So when they talk about light-skinned nigga shit, that is what Denise just did is a light-skinned nigga shit. Okay, just to give you an example from Denise's point of view. It's not saying that that's yours. You know what I'm saying? But if you can put yourself in my shoes and explain that, maybe put yourself in my experience and maybe think about some things that you may have done that. Oh, maybe I could see myself may have done.
I was going to say, it's just really a function of a separation, an action of separation. Sometimes we get into rooms where there's like, I wouldn't say I haven't personally experienced with a light-skinned woman who pointed out like, oh, I'm light-skinned with good hair. That could be a narrative that was spewed in the Black community where like, oh, if she was light-skinned and had good hair, she must have been X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to have a kitchen or nappy beady beads in the back of your head. So that automatically is a separation where I've been taught because my hair looks like this, that I must be better because my mama don't call me nappy-headed, etc. So we're going to go down to like the history or root of certain things where it gets like, oh, okay, well, if that's how you feel, that automatically creates a separation. That isn't always how it presents itself, just how like racism has transformed itself into appearing in other certain types of spaces, and it doesn't look like someone spitting in your face. It might be a snide remark or something that was a little below the belt that challenges you to almost want to respond, but it's like, nah, maybe I shouldn't, because then I would be perpetuating the angry Black woman thing. So that's the same thing. It's just like certain things you come across with light-skinned people. Like, for example, my Black friend wouldn't call me like, I love when chocolate girls da-da-da. They'd be like, girl, I love when we.
Exactly.
I love when we. That's the narrative they would go to. So and it's not like I'm judging her on some like, oh, here this light-skinned bitch go. It's just a funny thing where it's like, oh yeah, that's some light-skinned nigga shit. We laugh about it.
Because there's no hate or shit.
I was gonna say, I don't think it has to be painful.
Yeah, no, and I honestly, I love Black women, all of them, all the shades, all the colors, all the things. You know what I'm saying?
This shit is sounding crazy to me.
So it's
My man is over there befuddled.
It's okay.
trying
really
to shade any of the colored women. Is just something that I've noticed, and I lighter skinned people take notice of that shit.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
The easiest way to break it down, the masses, the stigma is light-skinned people respond emotionally. That's just the easiest way to just break it down. And we just move on. That's just the easiest way to break it down.
y'all don't want me to go, so we gonna move on.
No, we want you to. This is a safe space.
Be yourself.
So first,
Let's take a shot.
Yeah, I say.
let him make the shot while I get my thought out.
And then we're going to move on to the next
What
one.
you're
That's
saying,
great for
and
us.
I don't think the reason why I don't want to say this because I don't mean it offensively, but it's offensive. I know you're going to take it offensively. There's like
It's okay. This
really
is
no
space.
other way to
unless
take
you
it.
don't say I
This
hate
is a
myself.
safe
Like if you're not, I was gonna say,
That was a harsh joke. I'm sorry for that.
Oh, okay.
Ladies,
it's-
respectfully. Get these bitches. No, I said respectfully first. Now.
Nah, It's like when you see a black person and a white person and they're friends, and the white person makes a bunch of nigger jokes, and the black dude is like, it's okay, he's not racist. Where you make these kind of jokes and shit all the time means nothing. To the two of you, if that's probably true, and probably it is true. Obviously, you guys are actually upsetting each other. Your friend probably isn't actually racist when he makes racist jokes. You actually are okay with it. You know he's not racist, but for someone from the outside, that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
So that's the analogy I want to get. So I was trying to say it in a way that doesn't offend you. From the outside, what you're saying to me sounds crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, I think what you're saying about you looking at a woman and she doesn't have that worry about her legs or whatever. My thought process on that is everybody, black, white, whatever, has something that they can look at another person and envy, and you can attribute that to anything. For me,
no, the light skin portion of it is that I said it.
But I was going to say it's more so the cultural alignment. Like, say for example,
no. I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is that difference for me. I wouldn't look at a dark skinned person who doesn't have to deal with the thing that I have to deal with that specifically because I'm light skinned and be envious or upset in that because I equate it all as one pie. Everybody has something.
I mean,
for one reason or another.
Has to
and
be
it just wouldn't that wouldn't like be a thing that I would think that like that's why I don't understand when you say that's like a light skin thing to think because I really know for a fact
take away the emotion behind it.
People look at I'm not talking about the emotion at all. People look at other people all the time. I can always say you can grab Beyonce and put her in front of the mirror and she'll point at everything that's wrong with her, that she thinks is wrong with her. And she'll be able to point out something in some other woman, Kelly Rowland or one of her other crew members or whatever that she likes about them that she wish she couldn't do that may or may not be attributed to the fact that she's a lighter tone.
But I don't think that's what she was saying. There.
I know that's not what she's saying. I'm just saying from my perspective.
That I pointed out an insecurity.
Yeah.
No, I get. I do. I really do understand. I'm just saying the reason why it's hard for me to understand it is because the way I process it.
Okay, so
I'm saying the problem is we. I don't.
Yeah. So this is what we're trying to explain.
Everybody can see things from their own perspective. And that's try to open up.
So that's what you're saying.
And I'm just trying to explain my perspective so we can all open up.
She pointed out a negative experience where she was able to see a difference between herself and a black girl. Mm-hmm. That's not what we're carrying on all light-skinned people. We're saying, say for example, for being white, for example, I wasn't aware of the fact that I was a black girl until I went into spaces where there were less black girls because I'm from LA. We got Tongans, Samoans, Mexicans, Cubans, whatever, like white people. It was a cultural mix of people. I wasn't, weird about seeing someone that didn't look like me. It wasn't a thing. So I moved to Utah. This is the first time I've been around like all Caucasian people for the most part. This is their first time seeing, I knew girls from like Alaska. So this is their first time seeing a black girl with braids. They want to know like, how do you put your braids in your hair? So if another black girl came up to me and was like, oh my God, how did you braid your hair? I'd be confused. So I'm like, culturally, you don't relate to that. You get what I'm saying? Like culturally, you've never had your hair braided. So there's a certain aspect of being light skinned in that experience that is not relatable to being black, that is sometimes pointed out or not necessarily like through words, but maybe through action in social situations. That's why we get down to the word colorism, where there is a certain type of treatment towards people that look fairer skinned. There's that issue of like, oh, I didn't know what community to be in because I was too light for my black friends, but then I was too black for my white friends. That experience is different than being black because I've been a nigga everywhere I went. There wasn't an option for me to choose to hang out and be more white.
Is that what we're talking about right now?
No. I'm lengthening the conversation by expanding on the thought just to say that light-skinned nigga shit happens and we point it out because black people don't do that amongst each other. Like dark skin. I
don't even know what you're like. We wouldn't be having this conversation if y'all didn't start calling niggas light skinned.
So he said, to wrap it up, he said light skinned niggas get emotional. You got emotional about the comment, and that's why we're having this conversation. If you had just let that shit fly, it wouldn't have been a conversation. But you stopped it and was like, y'all just called me light skinned.
Had to make the voice too.
Can I press it? Right. Is it this one? This one? This one? Light skinned niggas coming to the
like mine was very emotionally charged. My example was very emotionally charged.
Emotional.
This is the.
She was stressed. She was hairy as fuck.
Exactly.
So y'all saying dark skinned niggas not emotional?
We're not emotional about being black towards each other type shit. Yeah. Like, if I called him, okay, shut up. You dark as hell. You've been burnt up in it. Well, I wouldn't.
So the thing is about being, first is just being, is it just being emotional about
your blackness?
or is emotional about your blackness.
Like I said,
even though you just gave a pretty emotional story about not even knowing you were black until you went around white people's stages. That's what you said. You didn't even know you was a black girl, is what you said.
Like, she wasn't aware that there was a difference to be talked about.
I was comparing that to say that white people have conversations with me that I would not have with a black person that looked and shared my experience, which is also similar to a light-skinned person having an experience that is not relatable to what I go through because, like I said, in certain scenarios, that's it.
I understand now.
That's all. But yeah, I mean, I love my light skin, brown skin. I love Africans. Let's talk about that. You listen, there's no way I'm not going to marry an African for real, for real.
Is also, last comment.
Yeah.
The colorism thing you're talking about, super heavy down south. I've been to a lot of states and a lot of places much like you. Came from San Diego, New York. I've not been reminded of being light-skinned as much until I came down here. Not have people straight up not trust me because I'm light-skinned until I came down here.
And that's a negative experience. Would you say that?
I just feel like it's their problem.
But no, but I'm saying that's an experience you're having as a light-skinned man that he may not have because he's not light-skinned.
But then he'll have an experience as a dark-skinned man that I might not have.
Correct.
But everyone has these separate experiences is what I'm saying.
Okay.
To me, I throw it all in the same bucket as I was just trying to get y'all to understand me, but y'all are stuck on me understanding you.
No.
Even when
we
I
understand you 100%.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I get what you're saying. You're basically saying, like, in the way I function as a light-skinned man, it's not an issue to me because I don't have any type of, like, insecurities about me being a light-skinned man. The only times I come across that is when somebody else is pointing that out to me. Yes or no?
Yes, perfectly
okay.
said.
That's it. And all we're saying is that, yes, that is true, but when someone's pointing it out, it's because you did some light-skinned nigga shit. Okay, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to make it light. But, you know, can we shake on that?
All right.
Wait. The light and dark unite.
All right.
Autobots. Roll out. You see how I went back to your Transformer thing? Yeah.
Little dig. She full of digs and callbacks.
That's the way I saw it. But I
do want to say he opened you up to the trauma because you was like, oh, it's really traumatic. He was like, go ahead and say it.
Oh yeah, I probably would have said it.
This is black on black crime right now.
Yeah, right.
With all that being said,
we're gonna cut that out.
No, we're gonna keep all that.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you guys. Wanted to get it off the light skin, dark skin thing, and I wanted to ask you guys when we were talking earlier about the whole intimidation with the man and you being independent about your business and whatnot. How would you like generalize a man and a woman relationship?
Like what I think two people should be receiving from, like how it should be structured, what it looks like.
Yes.
I feel like that isn't something for everyone to say a blanket statement on. You have to find what your counterpart is, you know? Okay. I saw a video recently where a woman explained how people are misconstruing the words equally yoked. It doesn't mean to be of the same variety or whatever. It's just about, knowing, hey, I'm good at this and you're good at this. So let's do what we're good at and how we can make our relationship work and, grow and obviously build whatever relationship. So for me, I can't say like, oh, men should do this and this will work, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You might find a woman who needs a stay-at-home dad that loves a nurturing and protective and at home and whatever type of dude so she can go out and explore her, whatever, and that works for y'all. So I'll say that first. Me personally, I think I'm looking for someone, I think first and foremost, that is relatable and that I also have a good friendship with because I have an understanding, like my parents aren't together, but they have a good friendship with each other. So like if something was to happen, my mom's the first person he's going to call. Okay. Vice versa. So they're going through something, they can sit back and have a conversation with each other and talk and whatever. They genuinely care about each other as people. So I think that's the first and foremost of like what's important to me. Chat time. Sorry, guys.
To black people.
I love that. So yeah, just with one being a good person, having a good relationship with each other. If we can kicking on the couch and like laugh about some corny shit and you're not worried about the fact that I ain't got my wig on right now, that's awesome. Just a really organic and like loving, encouraging relationship. Outside of that, I have a strong personality. And I'm not somebody that just goes for everything. So, like, if in order for you to lead, it has to make sense.
That's what I was telling.
Oh, must be raining outside.
It was raining when I pulled up.
Is that what happens when it rains?
Sewer backs up into your house?
I think I think it's typically like little Chippendale orgies that go on in my attic. And I think that's the smell.
Bro, close the door. Something.
Oh,
It's coming from the air.
All right, we'll just ignore it. Keep it.
I was gonna say I smelled it, but I was like, you know, shit. I didn't know.
Somebody farted.
I didn't want to play.
Close the door. I'm dying.
And you know, your kids. I'm childish, so it's like, well, you smelled it, you dealt it. You know. So.
She might just work through it.
Now that bitch is strong. I'm sorry.
That's how I was like,
I closed it up.
I was waiting to see if it passed. If it passed, I was like, okay, somebody farted or some shit. But yeah. So I was like, oh no, I gotta mention this.
But
It hit a certain level where
Has this
that's
never
not-
happened
that's
to you
not the
before?
body. Huh?
Has this never happened to you before?
Nah,
26
never.
episodes.
Yep, never.
I was gonna say, I'm glad we addressed the issue and didn't let it go, and then we walk out here like these eggs smelling.
Because I was like, that ain't coming from a boss. That's like no person could put that shit out.
It was his description of it not being bodily. That's just really. We gotta put this as like a blooper somewhere. People need to know. If it's blowing in here, y'all just gotta suck it up.
Yeah, that's the same. We just
What's going on with you? Your allergies is like you can't smell nothing.
No, I said I smelt it, but I'm somebody like, say for example, like I'm empathetic and I'm aware of people, and you don't know what's going on with somebody. So you know, maybe you did have to, you know.
This drink and give me the bubble guts.
Like, yeah. So I don't want to be the one to point out something that may make somebody else feel some type of way. Yeah. Like I just, you know, if it's really not something like, I don't know, I've been through a lot. This ain't the worst smells I've ever smelled. You know?
It's like, you know, if you see my wig slide and you don't got an immediate fix, keep that shit to yourself.
Hey,
Just mind your business.
You wanna hear something funny? We all smelt it, and the light skinned nigga addressed it. Anyway, go on.
He worked for like 20
I'm
minutes to get us
funny.
off of that, and then to circle back like that is wild.
No, but as you were saying, household in a relationship.
This is okay. So I just want y'all to know what's going on. He's doing all these key points so that when he's editing, he knows what parts of the clip he's about to put in. He's like, yeah, we're gonna skip that part where I said that.
No, I'm not skipping anything.
Okay, good, good. Yeah, so like
It's
organically,
gonna be a 2-part episode.
yeah,
I can already
organically,
see that right now.
a good person.
It's been a long
I know.
ride, not gonna lie.
We started like with one, right? Yeah.
Whoa. Time.
I was gonna say no. She just looked at the clock. It's like a casino. Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah, you're right.
You lose when you're all out, or you win big, and it's
Exactly. Listen,
Yeah.
you ladies leave when we're done. I'm just kidding. Y'all have a choice. Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes.
Thank you for
Blink 3
allowing
times.
us to have a choice.
You're in trouble.
But no, guys that are just genuinely good people. Like, how are you with
Okay.
your friends? Are you family? Do you treat your mom well? Like, I dated a guy who just like, I can see his relationship with his mom was very transactional. And I just was like, that's a big reflection of like your upbringing and how you ultimately like treat women or deal with them in a capacity. And I just wasn't interested in like raising a man. So I just like somebody who presents themselves as being together. And a misconception that a lot of men have is that women that present themselves as being opinionated, assertive, or slightly aggressive, whatever it is, cannot be submissive or led by a man, which is not true. One, if I'm trying to be led, do you think I'm just trying to be led by anybody? Oh, anybody with an idea, I'm just going to go because you're a man and you need to lead me. No, submission comes from with respect. Submission comes from being shown and proven, you know what I mean? That you're actually making great decisions or whatever. Because to me, for me to go from like doing what I do for myself to like, oh, no, I have to trust the navigation. I'm not going to
Right.
get in a
That makes
boat
sense.
and just be like,
agree with that.
whatever happens. And if I drown, fuck it. No, like I'm a survivalist at end. So yeah, that just comes down to it. And I think a lot of men don't understand that aspect of like getting submission from women. And recently I told a friend like, some people get discouraged by their dating experience and how they're not finding the one. But I feel like I got to say a million no's to find the one. Not everybody's going to be for me. I'm not going to let somebody that has some kind of criticism towards me deter me from like, maybe I'm this way, so nobody's going to want me. No, if this is not your cup of tea, that's great. It was very nice meeting you. Maybe we can be friends or know each other in another capacity. But other than that, it's just cool. I'm not going to take heart to it. It is what it is.
what kind of actions, or because in order for someone to earn that, there's got to be. I mean, I think I know the answer, but I mean, for you to say it, what kind of actions could a person be doing in a relationship with you to show them that they're a person of that caliber?
Intention is the first step. being intentional, because I'm a person that is very intentional in things that I do, is down to how I speak. If I said it, I meant it. I mean what I say and I say what I mean, and I ain't going to apologize about it unless it came out a way that maybe misconstrued how I wanted it to be taken. But if it was a fuck you, I meant that. You know what I mean? So when I see people, I also had to learn, like, not everybody thinks the way that I think. I'm very analytical in my movement, and I look past certain just like general gestures. And I had to take a step back at sometimes and be like, you can't be so judgmental, or you can't judge people on you can't think that everybody thinks the way that you think. So like, you have to communicate your needs. I learned that in a relationship where I felt like I'm going to allow this person to present himself how he presents himself, because I want to see who you truly are. I feel like in some capacity, if I tell you everything that I want, you're just going to regurgitate the shit that I said, and you're going to do it until it gets whatever you want. And then afterwards, you're going to revert back to whoever it is that you are. But I genuinely want to like somebody for who they are, not who you think I want you to be in order to get with me. Because that's a false motive. Intention. We go back to intention. So intentionally be who you are. Don't change up anything. I dated a nice guy recently who I went on a couple dates with, and he was nice. He had himself together. He was a Air Force veteran, owned 2 properties, doing well for himself and whatever. But when we would have conversation and I would say something that would kind of be like challenge what he would do, he would retract. He'd be like, oh no, I just meant like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You don't stand on your 10 toes. So if I come take you around, like, a business meeting, or we go somewhere, or we are about to go buy a house together, they're going to walk all over you. And then I have to get into my masculine and be like, no. And I don't want to have to do that with the man that I'm with. I want to be able to relax. Like, I've been doing it already. So, like, I really want to be able to be like, I'm good because I know my man got that. So having that intention. So, for example, a good example would be a man who took me out on a date. He said, hey, I'm interested in getting to know you. I have a spot and location. Let me know when you're available. I didn't have to have a conversation with him about where we wanted to go, or, let me fish for this. He had a plan. He knew what he wanted to do. He came to pick me up. He took me out here. He made sure I was comfortable. He checked in multiple times. Hey, is this da-da-da-da? After he dropped me off, he said, hey, I really had a good time. We talked a little bit more. Then the next day he said, I want to see you again. I really, really enjoyed it. He expressed that interest in, like, I'm focused on you. You know what I mean? Like, I like the interactions that we're having. So being honest in communication, being intentional. When it comes to the aspect of leading, what are you doing in your life? Now, I say this to the Sigma. My life isn't awesome, amazing. I'm not doing the best at everything. I could probably be a little, I could probably be a little better with my finances, but I want to be with somebody that's going to help me grow as a person. Not that I feel like I have to do a lot of cleaning up for in general, especially if I'm looking for, if I want to be in a relationship where someone's leading, I guess you could say. If we're both coming into this like, hey, let's 50-50, and we'll toss a coin on who's going to make a decision, then that would be my expectation. But if you're coming in like saying, hey, I want to leave this relationship, I want to da-da-da-da, where are you going in life? What's your plan? So yeah.
Denny?
I know. So I'm in a space now where I am learning to be submissive. Oh, you can't hear me. I'm sorry. I'm in a space now where I'm learning to be submissive. Like I've done the whole, I'm super strong, I'm doing the things, I'm saying I'm so independent. I've been there. So now, like she said, we're in that space where we're looking for the men that have the qualities to lead. Now, it's interesting when you get somebody who has the qualities to lead. Now, mind you, there may be a couple of red flags here and there. They may fuck up. People human, you know what I'm saying? But
we make mistakes.
You know what I'm saying? Overall, the pros and the cons, like I was telling her earlier, pros and cons, pros outweigh it, you know what I'm saying? Significantly. Even if I write down even each individual negative.
I was going to say that's an activity that we talked about where you do have to sometimes put things physically on paper. Sometimes your thoughts are like running around and you can't really solidify things. And I was telling her about a challenge I did with an ex-boyfriend where I had all these issues with him. I wrote down a pros and cons list, and the cons list was long, but it was all like stupid shit. He snores. He's a fucking annoying. He da-da-da-da-da-da. But the pros was like things that were heavy weights. It was like I had pebbles with a whole bunch of six big boulders. You know what I mean? There were 1,000 pebbles, but it didn't weigh as much as the pros that were more important. So I was mentally without the paper, I'm judging them, but on the paper I'm like, well, check you out.
Nah, for real, check you out.
Check you out.
So it's now I'm in that space where, oh damn, obviously it's the check you out moment. I got somebody who has the qualities that you can follow. What do you do? That's where I'm at now. Okay. And it's more so trying to find myself backing up, because ideally I do want to be that person that submits to their partner, listens to their partner, goes with it. But I do have that I've been doing this shit myself for so long, and I have so much experience, you know what I'm saying? I can't just throw that away and throw caution to the wind and let you just take over, you know, as if I don't have any wherewithal about life. So it's a nice little balance. I'm finding that my communication is getting a shit ton better because I am a people pleaser that has extreme abandonment issues. So that I'm struggling with trying to not put myself on the back burner and allow these people to, you know, they're going through whatever they're going through. I tend to let myself be back here. Like, even though I am going through shit too, I will put my shit on the back burner and let that be their total focus. You don't even need to know what I went through.
She won't even put it on the burner.
Yeah.
This shit ain't fucking cooking. She'll have that shit off to the side and be like, oh, I'll get to it.
Yeah.
But it's all their shit is cooking. We're working,
every
we're
stove
doing all the things.
is lit.
We're doing everything for them. So I'm getting to the point now where I'm trying to stop that. I'm trying to stop being and he's even said that, Denise, that's not how relationships work. Like, you're not supposed to be here for me all the fucking time. Like, what the fuck am I here for? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have to unload. You know what I'm saying? I have to say, tell me the shit. Let me be that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't not give me the opportunity and then say,
And then judge me for
yeah,
it.
exactly. So I've been trying. You know what I'm saying? It is an adjustment. I'm not going to lie. So when those men do come to you and they're like, oh, you're too strong, you're too this, you're too that, you want a woman that was strong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was, you know, in control, in charge, knows what's going on. And then it's, to me, I feel like you do gotta soften her back up. You know what I'm saying? She's had to go through life by herself. You can't judge her for that. I feel
like that's a bad connotation, because it automatically gives a depiction that me being analytical or assertive or independent automatically means that I'm hard. It means that I'm capable and able, but it doesn't make me a hard being. You know what I mean?
I don't want to make you feel like you're a hard being. I just know that men are looking for somebody that is a little bit more amiable, somebody that you could tell something to and they're saying, okay. But you can't get to that point to where until they've made you feel comfortable enough to do so. And that's what I mean by they have to soften you. Mm-hmm. They have to make it to be where you're comfortable enough to say, yeah, okay, I trust you. I believe you. Okay, I don't even have to question you now. So it's one of those points. Like, the man has to step his shit up. Like, you have to be to the point where I don't need to be this way no more. Like, I don't have to think of every bill. I don't have to think of every time, how am I going to make these ends meet? I don't have to think of every portion of this, because you're taking over and I trust you to take over. And you've shown me constantly consistency that this is something you're able to do. Mm-hmm. And I get that some shit don't plan out, you know, investment shit don't go work out. I get that shit. But it's like, okay, you're back on it. You're trying something. You're trying to work something out. You got a goal. You're working towards that shit. You see me in that goal. It's a lot of that. And I feel like now in this space, I am trying to be a little bit more selfish, a little, like trying to take care of me a little bit more and put my shit out there more. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not being met with a stop. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being met with what you're too much, you're this, you're that, even though that's what I thought I would be met with. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought that, like I told you, I got abandonment issues and I'm a people pleaser. So I think if I'm not doing X, Y, and Z, they're not going to want to stay around. They're going to leave. You know what I'm saying? Because she's not being submissive enough. She's not doing that enough. She's causing rifts. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you want to be in that mode where, oh no, I'm good. Like, nothing's wrong with me. You don't have to leave me because of that. And it's like a fight or flight mode all the time. And it's all about healing. And what she said, I want to go back to a point where we talked about being healed before you start to date. Sometimes you don't know what your parts that you need to heal are until you get into those spaces. Like, I actually haven't come across, I don't want to say I haven't come across the man that wasn't worthy of leading, but I hadn't been in that space where I gave him that to do so. Okay. So now I'm in the space where I'm allowing somebody to take that road. It is new. So I do have to learn things as I go. And it's a rocky road. It's definitely going to be a roller coaster, but it's worth it at the end. Because like I said, pros and cons,
Gotcha.
His flowers.
Gotcha. So what I'm gathering from what both of you ladies are talking about is basically, in a nutshell, you guys want to be submissive, but you want to make sure that the person that you're going to be submissive for can lead you. Ready to embrace that software era?
Yeah. I mean, I think that doesn't even work. See? So wow, this is what you deal with.
Yeah.
I feel like that's common sense. That like
These nuts shit.
I'm going to
that's common sense.
Hold on. We're not done with this.
okay. No,
Let me give y'all a real world example.
And I was gonna say, as a married man, go ahead.
I've had to wrestle leadership back from my wife because I was. So let me preface this. When I was young, my whole claim to fame is Lamont is cool. I'm laid back. I don't turn up. I'm chill and controlling my emotions, everything. Right? And sort of stoic even. Mm-hmm. When I got into a relationship, I kept that same energy going, but at my own detriment. To the point where there were gaps where my wife felt like she had to jump in and fill up because I was just too chill. I wasn't going to jump in and be proactive and do stuff. Then when I started to get older, I wanted to, and I just felt like she was doing too much. And it turned out it wasn't that, after we had a discussion about it, that she felt like she had to step into these roles because I was too lax about it. It wasn't that she was just this overbearing person, but these are things that need to get done. One thing I'll say about my wife is she's a go-getter and she gets shit done. And if I won't do it, she'll do it. She may talk shit to me, but she'll do it. So I feel like if I don't want her in that space, like you're saying, I had to step up and take care of that and do those things first. Mm-hmm. And then so there was a point where you had to have this kind of head bump where I had to wrestle it back because I had given it up and she stepped in to fill in the gap because I left it there.
Yeah.
So then I had to step in and then she gladly, like, I want to say fell because it's almost like a negative, but I don't mean it that way.
Step back.
She stepped back. And I was doing what I needed to do. And there's been times where she's needed to do that because I'm working all the time or, things shift or maybe she's working on the time and now I'm cooking and, all that kind of stuff. Like the relationship becomes like a give and take and you're not always on top. Like there are definitely times where my wife was not working and I'm carrying everything and also helping out around the house. And then just vice versa. I'm not working. I'm spending all my time looking for another job or something like that. And she's picking up the slack and she's being super frugal about what we spend money on and, stuff of that nature. It's kind of like give and take that always happens. But all that to say is there will be times, like you said, where you'll have to step into your masculine, if you want to call it that, because that's what the situation calls for. Mm-hmm. But the downside is, like you said, if you don't have a man who then knows that he put himself in that position and he needs to put himself back in another position.
I was going to say it's not even, I wouldn't even say it in a sense of like having to take it back and forth. Do you just possess the qualities?
I guess we do, so it worked out that way.
Yeah, exactly. Both of you guys could, and that's why it's baffling to us, for me to be an independent girl who's just like gone and get it. I know other women, like friends of mine, who are just not independent. I had a friend once call me like, oh my God, my tooth is hurting. I don't know what to do. My mom's not answering her phone. She won't give me my medical card. You're 23 and you don't have your medical card. You don't know how to call your PCP and be like, hey, I need a doctor. You're not going to get the empathy from me. You're going to get, girl, figure that shit out. You know what I mean? So I get that there's women like that and there's some men who just want docile. I call them silly putty bitches that are just moldable into whatever it is that you want them to be. A lot of men don't like that, having a woman that's just kind of who they are. And I find it as an attractiveness because it's like, if I was to get off, I want my shorty to be able to make sound decisions for me. I feel like she's a great representation of who I am and what we are as a unit. So if I'm not there, it's still the same message that gets across the board, period. I'm a representation through my wife. And I'm not going to be represented through no ditzy, dumbass bitch. Why would I want that? And a lot of dudes want that, but I think that's also to stroke their egos. So it's like, yeah, I get that. Like, there's sometimes, like I always say, relationships are up and down. I'm not saying like somebody's going to come in and be like, rest, Captain Save a Hoe, and my life's going to be perfect after that. Shit happens. I might have to take over the reins, and I want him to understand and appreciate I have the capability of doing so, but he'll also understand I don't want to do that forever. And I also need to understand that you have the capability of being a leader primarily versus being like, you know what, it's kind of good she picking up this slack. It's kind of good I'm doing 45, 55. I'm kind of liking that. Yeah, and there's dudes that do that.
Hey, bro, you know your relationship is about to be end.
Your relation is about to end because the narrative is this. And okay, so I have a friend who is African. She's Nigerian and she dates a white man. There was one time I had a podcast. We all got together. We were talking, and I came across a post on Instagram where a lady was saying that one of the strongest relationships in America is the white man and the black woman because both of them are limitless in a sense of a white man's been given everything their whole life. Privilege, white privilege, quote unquote, if they come from a certain demographic. White privilege, they've never been told no. Black women have fought for everything. So I asked her, like, what's your experience dating this white man? She said, yo, he's in awe of me. the shit that he gets handed, and I told him what I had to do and all this shit I had to do to get it, he respects me for it. So like when I put in my input, it's just as it weighs heavy to him, and he has some kind of like respect for just me, my contribution to the relationship, because he's like, damn, you did all that? You were so, you were so ingenious to come up with this crazy way to get what you want when I just kind of walked through a door. Whereas sometimes in the Black community, Black men come to Black women and said, let me take over. You're intimidated by the fact that I have all this going on for me, instead of saying, yo, sis, I see you. Look at you thriving in this environment that was built for you to be less than.
Let you take over. I mean, like take over what she got going on?
No, take over like, now I'm the man, and I got the reins and control.
I'll take care of it.
It's like a control thing, whereas a white man's coming in, not to say, I'm not saying like I love Black men all together. I'm not shaming or whatever.
So you would be opposed to some man coming into the picture saying, kick back, I got this?
No, not kick back. It's more so like, I need you to be submissive because I can't be in control if you're not. Versus this man who she's in a counterpart relationship with respects the fact that she has these qualities. He sees how it brings value to the relationship, where some men are like, no, I need you to be docile, because how can I be a man if you have masculine traits? But men don't understand, like, masculinity isn't like subjective to a man or female. We all have both feminine and masculinity traits. Some niggas are more bitch than them because they got more feminine in them. That's it, is what it is. Like, they're just more bitch. It is okay. It's okay you're a little more soft than other niggas. Some girl's gonna like that soft shit.
But also, it's moments too. Like sometimes men have these more emotional moments, and women have these more emotional moments where the counterpart needs to step up or needs to adjust. Like similar to how you talked about how your wife picked up the slack when you didn't. It's not a dig on you, but it does show about that equal yoke thing that we were talking about beforehand. Like sometimes you can give your 80, they can give their 20, and vice versa. Or y'all, it's not even about the money, it's about the effort, about the love, about the consistency, all the things. Like, hey, damn, I see he's about to drop the ball. Let me make sure.
I was gonna say, what would have been? Can you imagine your situation with a woman that did not possess the qualities that your wife has?
No.
That was not ready to step up to the plate when something fell. Did not have the quality of a hustle mentality. Like, even if he don't do it, it got to get done. Because sometimes you forget, right? So every time,
a divorce.
Yeah, you would have just got a divorce. Like, what is this girl doing for me? But
now we would have the nuances is we would have argued about shit that had nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with it,
and then we would have broke up.
Correct, exactly. But though I think it was just the more so it's just the qualities that. Yeah, it's just what you're looking for. Because it works for some women to kind of just be, oh, it is what it is, and men like that, and they just want you to just be there.
Yeah.
I wish I could say that I chose well. I saw my wife, she's fine. I said, damn, she fine. Mm-hmm. And then shit progressed to a point where we got married, and all of this stuff that people say, oh, I chose this person because they had all these qualities and all this shit. Nah, look, man, my wife's fine. She's still fine. You know what's up?
Yeah, she fine.
Nigga. Like some shit just not funny, guy. Okay. As after all of that, I started to discover things about her, and same thing about me. So I always say, we say to each other, we just got lucky, because this pre-shit that people do now when they get in a relationship, we was both too young and stupid to be even doing all that. We was just wrapped up in each other. She's like, oh, you cute. And I'm like, oh, she fine. Oh, the sex is good. And that's what we was doing. And then when shit got serious, when we ran into them, luckily she was the kind of woman that can handle it. Luckily I was the kind of man that can handle it. I always say, when we got pregnant at the time, I still remember this to this day, driving home from work, she told me, I'm pregnant. I was like, nah, we pregnant. And then we just went on from there. I always told her I was locked in from I can't even tell you.
And dating when you're younger is a different experience than being in our 30s.
Because at that point I was so young, I could just completely throw my heart.
Yeah. And I miss that part of the relationship. And it's funny because I talked to this African guy, right? He is Nigerian. He came to America probably like 9 years ago. So he has a lengthy experience of being in Nigeria and dated a little bit. So he was saying like his dating experience with the girl he dated in Africa is way different than his experience with dating women in America, because they have so many experiences with men to compare him to. Automatically is like, well, I've had this, that, and the third. He said the woman in Africa, she would fall to my knees because that's how in love she's not going to come across the next man as fast as these women out here in the Western society will. And that's why like out here, it's harder to be in relationships with women, because it's like, well, I see X, Y, and Z, or I've had this experience with this person, and it's either created a blockade or a wall that prevents you from getting to know other people, or it's created a precedent where you're like, I'm not accepting this because I've seen this already.
The men are the same way. They look on a regular dude be looking on Instagram because in the hood back in the day, you just saw whoever was the prettiest girls in a 10-block radius, right? But now you see the world, and since you basically the Instagram or all that shit gives you the illusion that you have direct access to these women.
You don't,
and they don't, and so they start looking at this like, I can get this. Why can't I have this? So then they start acting all weird, and they want a certain kind of girl, but those certain kind of girls are a certain kind of girl, and they only want a certain kind of person, and you just don't qualify for that.
Yes, you don't. And sometimes they shadow stuff, but other times...
And that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I was going to say that. It's okay. And I had a conversation with a guy at a bar. I went to a bar with a friend. We're sitting at the bar. He comes to us, and he, like, inserts himself between the two of us and was like, oh, hi, my name is blah, 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 and I want to get you guys some shots. So we're like, oh, we just got a drink, but we appreciate it. Thank you so much. He's like, oh, well, what are you guys doing here? Continue the conversation. So we just got a drink. Thank you so much was probably the segue for you to just leave us alone. But he just continued.
That's what I took it as when you said it. Like,
so the energy continued. Oh, da-da-da-da. And I'm giving short answers. My friend, she's country and southern and believes in being hospitable.
So
if I'm not being nice and blah, blah, blah. So eventually, because I'm getting annoyed by your presence, we kind of made several segues for you to end it and kind of just get up out of her space. You kind of leaning on my arm now, and it's just too much. You're too comfortable. So I said, how would you like this conversation to end?
What was his answer, please?
He said, I want you guys to come upstairs to go to the section with us. We're not.
That's not ending a conversation, though.
No, but I'm saying, like, what was his point of talking to us in this moment? What were you trying to get us to do?
Yeah.
So what's your desired outcome? Let's get there. And now you understand, I'm not going with you upstairs. I'm not interested in that.
That's
Please go away. And go ahead.
And you did him a favor.
And I did him a favor. And that's what I said next. Why do you want to spend time trying to convince a girl to like you? Any dude that I ever slept with or busted it open for, I knew that shit when I saw that man. As soon as I saw him,
we've always said that.
Knew it. Boy, I'm about to drop these draws for you. I'm gonna fake it for 3 months. I'm gonna fake it. Or I'm gonna fake it. But I would have dropped these shits. So.
I've always done that.
You don't have. And why do you want to put yourself in, as a man to be begging? You know what I mean? There's a woman that's gonna like you. There's a woman that's not gonna force you to have all these weird, uncomfortable experiences with them for you to try to prove that you should pick me. You should not put yourself in that place. Like no human being should, whether you're a man or a woman. But I think men fall in this category a lot because, like, as a woman, we deny a lot. It's not like we shooting shots and getting shot down. Men shoot all day, and not a lot of them motherfuckers don't go nowhere. They land nowhere. And so as a man, that could be ego taking. Like, damn, there's literally men that are never getting pussy.
And the fact that she did that is so damn funny. You a childish.
Man,
you probably funny as hell to be around.
Nigga, you would never sniff these drawers.
There really are men out there that really don't ever get.
No, yeah, it's true.
That will literally be paying OnlyFans subscriptions.
I've told people shit that seems so obvious to me, and minds be blown. Like what you just said earlier, I'd be like, bro, if a girl likes you, all you really got to do is not fuck it up. You say shit that ain't even funny, nigga. It's not funny, but she likes you. But you can fuck it up though.
Yeah,
but you
just don't fuck it up.
It's
you'll be all right.
You could do a whole bunch of clown shit, and if I really like you, I'm gonna let it pass. Cause like I'll let a fuckboy get away with some shit down, cause I like you, or your clown ass come get the fuck out of here. I wouldn't let you go an inch with that shit. Yeah. This nigga right here.
Before we get off that,